Just math, y'all. All right, we're going to continue our discussion of logarithmic functions. Okay, so we have talked about, we did this for video one, and that blue box is our basic relationship between logarithm and exponential function. It's very important. And then we looked at the log graph, and then we did for video number three, we looked at the relationship between the exponential form and the logarithm form, and we're going to do that again. We're going to look at that again. So, um, so these examples here, it says to write an exponential form first, so it's going to help us. And so I wrote over here to the side, log base b of x equals y means that b to the y is equal to x. Now I want to just emphasize here that this is a subscript, and this x is full sized. And then when you rewrite it, the y is the exponent and it becomes small. Another way of doing this, as we get to these problems that we're going to do now, is log base b of a box. Because in a little while, this right here could be almost anything. Remember, it was a parentheses at one point. So I'm going to make it a box because we could put all kinds of things in here. And then it's going to be equal to most likely a number. And this means that b to that number is equal to whatever was in that box. And that's going to be a whole lot more helpful when we start working on these first examples here. So let's look at this first example that I have. It says log base 2 of x minus 4 is equal to 4. And we're asked to solve. So remember, solving means we actually need to know what x is. We actually need to try to come up with what x is. Okay, and so this would be, that's not supposed to come up. Let's try again. 2 to the 4th is equal to x minus 4, because now this is our box. And this is our number. And so log base b of box is equal to number means b to the number is equal to the box. This is the log form. And this is the exponential form. Okay, so now this is just a regular equation now. I can solve this. 2 to the 4th is 16. You may have to do that on your calculator. And then we'll add 4 to both sides, and I get x is 20. And this is fine. I do have to check these. Because remember, we can't take the log of a negative. So make sure that you just do a mental check. Put the 20 right there and make sure you don't get a negative number. If you get a negative, then you have to throw it out and say no solution. But this one works, so you do need to check your answers. All right. The second one uses our LN. Now, a couple of videos ago, I talked to you about what LN was. And if you'll remember, LN means log base E. And so anytime I see LN, I'm going to rewrite it as log base E. So that's what I'm going to do. This is log base E of 8 of x. Wait a minute, don't forget my x. Redo this. Log base E of x is equal to 8. And then I'm going to use my little rule here again. And the b was small, and now it becomes big. So now I'm going to have e to the 8 is equal to x. And to figure out what x is, I just have to get my calculator out. And so I'm going to get my calculator out, and I'm going to do e to the 8th. And I get 2,980. 2,980.96 to be exact. This is the exact, and this is the approximate. So just remember that. All right, This next example uses a plain log, and I talked to you about that one already in a couple of videos ago. When we do a plain log, we're going to rewrite it as log base 10. Okay, so this one is log base 10 of x is equal to 2. All right, and so then that's going to give me 10 to the second power is equal to x. And I don't even need a calculator for that one. I can figure out that x is 100. Now what I forgot to do was check both of those. And I just kind of skipped over it, but let me just remind you that you do need to check them. You do need to check them and make sure that this number that I have, when I put it here, does not make a negative, and it doesn't. And when I take this number and put it here, I don't get a negative. So both of these check just like that one checked. Okay, so now these next group, again, stop the video at any time and rewatch and rethink and just kind of pause. This next group says solve again, but then it tells us to isolate the log part first and then rewrite. So this first one, this is 5 times log. So technically I'm going to divide both sides by 5 first, and I'm going to have log base, I don't see the base. Oh, don't forget. If you don't see the base, it's a 10. You can't see that now. Let me get log base 10 of x plus 7 equals 3. So now I've isolated the log. Now I'm going to rewrite in the exponential form. And the exponential form starts with the base 10 to the third power is equal to x plus 7. And now I'll solve that out. That's 1,000 is equal to x plus 7. Subtract 7 on both sides, and I'm going to get x is equal to 993. You didn't expect that, did you? But that's what x is equal to for this problem. Stop the video and redo that if you need to. Think that through. All right, the next one works the same way. I've got this 3 in the front, and I'm going to isolate it. I'm going to divide everything by 3, and that gives me the natural log of 9x is equal to 4. I'm going to rewrite that as log base e of 9x is equal to 4. Now I'm going to do my rewrite. I got the log isolated, change those. Now I'm going to do e to the 4 is equal to 9x. Definitely going to use my calculator here. I'm going to do e to the 4th, which is 54. Let me finish it. E to the 4th is equal to 9x. Divide both sides by 9, and that's my answer. And I type that in the calculator, and I get approximately 6.066. All right, I'll do these. You try these next 2 problems and see if you can get those correctly. I'll post the answers to those in a few minutes.